Class, welcome to our last week. I don't have much to cover. I'm just going to walk you through how to write assignment 3 and cover the remaining homework that you have to do. So for assignment 3, as I've been discussing for the past couple of weeks, you need to write it on a conflict that you see in My Name is Asher Lev. And this essay needs to be at least 1,000 words, and it will be 20% of your course grade. So it's really important that you do very well on this essay, because if you don't, it could really drop your grade in the class, or vice versa. If you need to bring your grade up, it could really help boost your grade in the course. So just a reminder that 3 sources are required. One of those sources can be the novel My Name is Asher Lev. And if you want to get an idea of the type of essay that this is, the DeVere article functions as a good example. Last week, I had you guys brainstorm and choose your conflict and also begin to look a little bit for sources. This week, we're going to finish out these 4 steps, which are the same steps that we used for the Esther essay. What you need to do now that you have identified your conflict is think about, where is this conflict represented in the novel My Name is Asher Lev? Ideally, you should pick 2 to 3 places in the book where you see this conflict. So right now is a good time to kind of go back through the book, skim it, maybe look at the forum posts. Which scenes did you reference during those posts, or maybe which scenes did your classmates reference? And once you've identified 2 or 3 places that you believe show this theme, ask yourself these questions. What is the character's role or position in the conflict? What is their response to the conflict? And what do they want as a resolution? Now, if you're covering maybe a larger conflict, like that's happening within the Jewish community, you can just ask yourself, like, what is the Jewish community as a whole? What is their role in the conflict? That could be how you alter that question. So you need to go to the worksheet and then identify the places in the text where you have this conflict. Ideally, give me some page numbers if you can, and then respond to these questions. If there are different characters in each scene, complete these questions for each scene. So go ahead and pause the video, complete this step, and come back, and we'll cover number 4. So now that you've identified the places in the book, you need to find your sources. And before we get into this step too much, I recommend that you pause the video and go read Maps of Meaning. It's located under week 8. This is an interview of Potok that was written down. And some of Potok's responses to the questions may give you insight into the book and may be a good source for you to use. So I recommend doing that. You could also maybe go ahead and do the journal entry for Maps of Meaning and one other source that you're planning to use for My Name is Asher Lev. So remember, you have the DeVere article, you can use Rambo, you can use any other articles like Allison or Brueggemann or the Sachs video, anything we've read in this class, or you can go outside and do your own research and find something in the Maloma database or maybe on Google Scholar to help you with My Name is Asher Lev. But this must be a credible source that covers the criteria I gave you last week about author, text, and the publisher. So once you've identified your sources, go ahead and go into the worksheet and identify, where will this source help you? Which place in the novel? So going back to step 3, those 2 or 3 places you identified in the book, where could maybe DeVere's article help you? Would it be in the first place in the novel, the second, the third? How will you use these sources? And you should also answer these questions right here in the worksheet as well. The 5th step for writing your paper is to discover your what of it. So remember, this is like the purpose for why you're writing. A good literature essay addresses the what of it for the reader and tells them why the central conflict matters to the reader. So think of phrasing it this way. Is this theme in My Name is Asher Lev true? Can I see this theme in the real world? Is Potok offering a real world solution? So to find your what of it for your essay, go ahead and ask yourself these questions. How does knowing about this conflict help me? What have I learned about this conflict from this book? How do I think this lesson could be applied to the larger world? And what solution is this book offering to the world? So hopefully reading the interview from Potok has maybe given you some insight on how to answer this. If you still feel like you're struggling a bit, the class session forum topic that we will do this week may help you with this. So you may want to pause this video or wait till I go ahead and discuss the class session forum. Write your post there and then come back and complete this step. But if you're feeling pretty strong on it, go ahead and pause the video and try to articulate your what of it for the worksheet. All right, step 6, outline your essay. Just like for the Ruth essay, I have given you an outline that you can follow on MuLearn. So if you go to our course page, go under course resources and scroll down, you'll see assignment 3 outline. And it looks the same as last time, where you have the questions in the introduction that will help you write it. And then you're also given prompts for each of your body paragraphs to help you. So if that was a useful tool for you last time, feel free and use it again. Just some notes: introduce your conflict in the introduction and provide a very short summary of the book and the conflict. Only take a couple sentences to do that. And maybe also address your what of it question, like why is knowing about this book and this conflict significant for the reader? That will help grab their attention and draw them in. And then for the body of your paper, you can have more than 3 paragraphs. That is okay to go over and above that. Mix up between summarizing and quoting and use the Graf and Birkenstein templates to help you with that. Also focus on organizing by your ideas, or maybe by the scenes in your book. So like back in step 4, what's the first place in the novel you'll use, the second, the third. Do not organize your novel by the sources you're going to use. And then lastly, in your summary, kind of focus on the what of it and explaining why that will help your reader. Now, I'm not requiring you to use this outline or submit it to me, but I do highly encourage you to use it. Students who follow this outline tend to do a lot better on their papers. But if you're not a great outline writer, if that throws you off, then at least use this as a checklist. After you've written a rough draft, go back through and make sure, okay, does my body paragraph have the main ideas or a topic sentence? What is the evidence I give? Do I analyze my evidence? And then do I link it back to the thesis? All right, a couple other reminders. Make sure, like I said, to use your Graf and Birkenstein book. There is like a master list of all of the templates that you could use on pages 293 through 309 in the back of the book. And it also, I have some other examples for how you can quote. So if you go under course resources and go down to quoting dialogue, and my name is Asher Lev, I cover a lot of situations that might come up that you view as being tricky. Like how to handle block quotes, how to handle quoting dialogue, what do you want to do if you may want to remove a part of the quote to make it shorter, things like that. And then also I give you some citation advice in a document right under that. So if you're unfamiliar with MLA citations, you can refer to this document as a quick reference. I cover like how to cite an article from library or an article from a website. All right, so that's most of what you're going to be doing for the essay. And like I said, assignment 3 is the main thing that you're to focus on for this week. And I'll just cover a couple other brief things that you need to do. So just like I had you do in week 5, where you watched a couple of videos to learn some elements of writing, I want you to do the same thing for assignment 3. On our course page, if you go to course resources and then right at the top, writing tutorial videos, you'll go back to this list of videos, and I want you to pick 2 new videos to watch. And I have added some new ones to the list. They're marked by a new at the end. So choose 2 of the ones here and watch them. They're all under 5 minutes long. There might be one that's 6 minutes, but they're pretty short. And just tell me 2 things that you learned from the video and give me the title of the video. The last thing I want to discuss is the class session forum for week 8. So under our week 8 module, you'll see the forum right here. And this is a little different this week. There's only one forum for you to choose. But there is 2 questions, and I want you to answer 1 question from each column. So 1 from column A and 1 from column B. And my hope is that in participating in this forum, it will help you understand the what of it for your My Name is Ashalev paper. Okay, so in kind of talking about the what of it that Potok might have had, this may help you consider too what your what of it is for your conflict in your essay. So you still need to write a 200-word minimum post, and you should use both the novel and Chaim Potok's written interview, Maps of Meaning, which is a resource on our course page.